it. So I show up, this guy shows up, he walks up to the door, unlocks the door, opens it, takes a step back and looked at me like this.
Like you walk in?
And then I walk in, mold everywhere.
But still, the walls were sweating. Like, what's that one song? The sweat rolls down these walls. Or what?
That's what's happening.
I mean, this could have turned out like a bad horror movie. Like, think like the lady could have come out from underneath the bed with a butcher knife and go like,
throwing kicks at you.
You get some good ones. It's really what we're getting to, right? But yeah, that one we ended up selling it.
Making money off it.
We'll sell anything that's got doors and a roof. Doesn't even need to have doors.
Doesn't even need a room.
Welcome, 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 and thank you for tuning in to the 3D Property Solutions podcast, bringing you the latest in real estate news, trends, and events. Here's your host, Dean. Dean, what are we talking about today?
All right, here we are at 3D Property Solutions. We're going to shoot a podcast today. Look at this. Dave Danforth, and we got an audience in the background. She's not going to go on camera. It's our friend Jessica. I don't even know how to pronounce your last. All these years I've known you, I've like Packus?
Yeah.
It's Packus. There you go, right? So it's a little bit of a down day over at the office, and figure why not? Let's go ahead and have some conversations, look at the camera, and tell some good, fun real estate stories, because this is what makes the business lively, fun, and So what we're going to go ahead and do is share. We're going to share some of the most outrageous stories that we have, and I've got a few. But Dave actually has one that was like early prospecting. You were saying something about early prospecting in the business.
So one way to tell if the house that you're going to see is not in the best condition is to watch the seller when you show up. So I think this was like the third house that I got under contract or something like that.
Okay.
Detroit house, small bungalow with basement. So we asked for a couple pictures before we went over there so we could see general conditions. So they're very dark. Didn't really look like too much was wrong with it. So I show up. This guy shows up. He walks up to the door, unlocks the door, opens it, takes a step back and looked at me like this.
Like you walk in?
And then I walk in, mold everywhere. Flooded basement. One of the worst houses I've ever seen. So that's my story.
I went to the same house.
Yes, you did.
And this one was, I mean, like, it was fairly chilly outside, but still the walls were sweating. Like, what's that one song? The sweat rolls down these walls. Or what? Like,
That's what's happening.
The sweat
it was
down
booty.
the wall.
It was. You walk through the front door, and he did when I went to go meet the guy, he did a very similar thing, because I'm doing dispositions at this particular point in time, which that basically means that you got to go sell the house to the end buyers, and you walk in, and I'm like, oh man, like the house is sweating, it's hot in there. There is a foot of water. Like, you look immediately when you walk through the side door. There is like close your eyes and picture this. Open the door, and then your first view is out into the basement. The electricity's still on. And at the bottom of the stairs, you can see that the first step is covered
With sewage.
with sewage. There's water, all right? There's water. And I'm like, sewer backup. I'm like, okay, it's not that. I mean, it smelled. Like, I've been in some pretty smelly houses. But it was like, there was enough water in there. And the issue is that electricity's on. So you can't go over to the breaker box and turn anything off. You can't really assess the condition of the basement. It's like, what are you going to do, man?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I remember what you said to me after. So I went and saw it. You went and saw it. The first thing that you said, you're like, man, I have not been in a house that bad in a long time.
Oh, yeah. So you get some good ones. It's really what we're getting to, right? But yeah, that one we ended up selling it.
Making money off it.
We'll sell anything that's got doors and a roof. Doesn't even need to have doors.
Doesn't even need a room.
Doesn't even need a roof.
Doesn't even need a roof. We'll sell it anyway. We'll sell you whatever. There is a house that, so to give you a little bit of background on our company, like we buy houses in just about any condition, right?
Yep.
Any situation. We deal a lot with probate, when people die and pass along to their heirs. And there was this one house that was out, and it was like in the sticks. It was like somewhere in Washtenaw County, if I can get my words straight, right? It was out in the sticks. I'm talking to this lady, and she's on the phone, and she's like, yeah, so like everybody's got a story, right? Oh, there's my sister, she's living in the house, and she refuses to leave. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I mean, you see that. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of acreage. The house is beautiful. It's got a pond. It's got all this stuff. And I'm thinking of myself, I'm like, maybe I want to move to this place, right? It sounds like a good, like this is cool. So we talk enough to be able to book an appointment. I go out there, and she says, well, my sister is kind of a little bit reclusive, and she doesn't really leave her bedroom. I'm like, okay, I don't mind. I mean, it's fine if she's in there and we go look around. That's fine.
Is she dressed?
Well, I don't know. Truth be told, I don't know if she was dressed or not because I never saw her. But as we look at the house, beautiful landscape. I mean, you go through down in the basement, you look in the house, just it's pond, everything, right? But as you're inside the house, it's vintage 1980s. It's an 80s build. And it opens up, big bright windows, and a nice staircase to go upstairs. And I'm struggling with a way to actually explain this, but there's wings, okay, to this house. So there's a balcony. Think a balcony that overlooks the
garden with the pond.
Yeah, somewhat like a garden, right? Right. Thank you. Yes, that's why we bring you along on these things. So as I struggle to get my words out early morning here, it's 10 o'clock in Michigan. We need our third cup of coffee to get things rolling. You can literally go out to the second floor and overlook the foyer area, which then leads into the great room. Okay.
Gotcha.
So there's, and then the bedrooms are up there, the main bedrooms, and the kitchen and everything is down on the main floor. So beautiful house is just dated, which we see this a lot. This is especially in probate files. So I meet the main sister, the sister who's negotiating, and she's bad mouthing her other sister all day long, the one that's up in the bedroom. Well, we finally get to the point where we're upstairs. Hey, so and so sister, we're here. Go knock on the door, and she opens the door, and she's like, she's not there. The sister's not there. But the dog, there's a dog in the room that's laying down, like so obedient. Like if I ever have a dog, I want a dog obedient as this.
Yeah, of course.
Like lay down.
Yeah.
Okay, don't move.
Yeah.
I walk through the bedroom, and as I walk through the bedroom, the dog is like right in front of me. The bed, big king size bed that's probably it's got a gap below it, like a foot and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And it's one of those king size beds that you got to jump up onto, right? You got to get up there, or you just fall over. Whatever you got to do to get into the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I see the dog laying on the ground. I kind of want to walk around the dog.
Yeah.
And you not get bit. And they're like, I don't know, dogs are crazy sometimes. But this one's like very catatonic. I don't know what the dog's on, but he's laying there and he's like, I've never seen a dog so still when a stranger comes into his room.
Yeah.
Okay. The sister's like, oh, well, she must not be here. Walking around. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's weird. Okay, yeah, she's not here. I guess she's not here. Maybe she went for a walk. Maybe she heard I was coming. She was like, got out of Dodge, right? She bugged out. She got out of Dodge, right?
She's like, oh, Dean's coming.
Oh, no, here comes this guy. I don't want anybody in my room. So I go and look in the bedroom. And as I look at the bedroom, and then I go on through this big walk-in master closet, right? And at the very end, like, there's a hallway. It's big, like it's a fairly large house. At the end of this closet, there is a closet door.
A secret passage?
No, I mean it's a secret.
Oh.
There's a secret passage into another closet, right? It's a closet that has a closet. Okay, right?
You see it all, right?
They exist in real estate. I mean, this happens, right? Mm-hmm. So I just think nothing about it. I'm like, I'm passing along. I'm like, okay, it's a really big closet. I mean, it's probably 13 feet deep. And then I see the master bath with the ensuite, and I'm like, okay, well, she's definitely not in here. I said it out loud. And then I walk on back through the bedroom and see the rest of the house. Okay, so now we're down in the kitchen. See the rest of the house, we're down in the kitchen, which happens to be right below the master suite.
Okay.
And I hear the floor squeak. Like right above my head, I'm like, it squeaks.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody's walking around up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and she doesn't acknowledge or doesn't hear it, one of the two things. I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, flashback, right? Flashback. I'm up in the room. I mean, this could have turned out like a bad horror movie. Like thinking like the lady could have come out from underneath the bed with a butcher knife and go like throwing something. Then she could have sicked the dog. She should like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You guys seen that movie, right? You know, Brad Pitt's got the trained pit bull. He's like, whistles at it real quick, and then the dog jumps up on me, and I'm like running out of the house trying to get on. And plus, I got this, 3/4 of a mile long driveway that I had to drive through to get to this house, and it's out the stick. Nobody would have heard me scream.
No. Just would have disappeared.
Yeah, these are the houses that we walk into, like so. But it was the weirdest thing, and one of those stories that just kind of resonates with you because, as you're in the house, it's like, I wonder where exactly she was at. Now, my personality goes back, and mind you, here's my inspiration for making this podcast today, because I woke up. I got a weird sleep schedule. The entrepreneurs out there, raise your hand. You understand the sleep schedule that you get on sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I woke up at 2 a.m. last night, and I was up for a couple hours, and then I go back to bed. And I'm thinking real estate because it's like ingrained in you. I can't get out of it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm listening to these thoughts that I'm having about this house, which inspired me to tell the story. And I start giggling. Like I'm giggling in bed at like what is it? What do you want? What do you want? Like I didn't wake my wife up, but the thing is that it's just. Why are you giggling in bed in the middle of the night? Like, keep your hands to yourself. My hands are to myself, right?
I'm willing to bet in that closet, had you looked, you probably could have seen feet somewhere.
Either that or underneath the bed. Like my personality, I could have been like,
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't.
Either that or, the butcher knife's got to come into play at some point, right?
Then I think the dog was in on it too. If he was being that quiet.
Well, that's the thing, because you think about the dog, because the dog was like, his eyes would look at me, and then he'd look under the bed, look at me, look under the bed, and oh man, I'm like, what? then that's a whole nother world. Like, you just open up a can of worms. Yep. Like you found her. I found you.
You're it.
Now, clearly, and I'm not trying to make fun of this, the mental health issue that's going on here, but you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun with this stuff, right? So, and then even as I replay this back in my life, there's two scenarios that I'm like convinced she was either underneath the bed, or she was in the closet at the end of the hallway. That, oh yeah, actually here she was in the closet. I've discerned this because when I walked by the first time, the door was cracked just a little bit.
Did you see an eyeball?
Sneaky.
I did not see the eyeball. And funny enough, you say that, but there was no doorknob in the hole, right? It was just a regular door slab. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
you put your eye down there.
Like, what's she gonna poke me with? But as I did walk through, she. Whatever. The door was cracked a little bit more than what it was when I walked through the first time, which then, explains the creaking floor. And I'm like, it was. That ranks up there with one of the weirder ones. Not threatening, because I wasn't like, I gotta get out of here, right? I don't think I've ever had that situation ever. Have you?
No, not really. Never had any haunted houses either, really.
Yeah. You do find some pretty interesting things in houses when you're doing clean outs,
especially some of
like
these older ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff, but story for another day. Anyhow, we just wanted to bring that story to you. 3D Property Solutions. We're here to bring value to the community and tell some fun stories along the way, because it's not all about like, hey, it's about doing business and making things happen. Like, we gotta have fun with this.
Gotta have fun.
And move it along. So here's the shameless pitch for the company. Like our flag. Look at that thing. I got to work on maybe like improving the audio situation in here, like some different pieces of art and stuff like that. But sound panels, to make like an actual studio, so we can really amp up the the production quality that we got here. So. But that, we're here to bring quality content to the population here, the real estate population here in the Metro Detroit market. So if you have any comments or questions about the actual content that we're creating, or you'd like to see somebody on the episode, feel free to reach out to us. You can find us online, reach us in the comments, and we'll catch you on the next video. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you for tuning in to the 3D Property Solutions podcast. I don't know about you guys, but I'm willing to bet that she was under the bed. I mean, the dog kind of gave it away. But Dean was not kidding. If you have a funny story, we don't care if it's about a dirty house, a haunted house, or a beautiful house. If you have a funny story that you'd like to share with us, reach out. Let us know. We would love to have you on the podcast.